Welcome back to 2CTV, your global news channel. We have some breaking news coming from Texas, or actually in this case, outside of Texas, because the US Democrats representatives have fled the state since last night, and the authorities in Texas have now called on to the FBI to start a manhunt. We're going to explain exactly what on earth is going on in Texas, but it's not really a good day for the Democrats in general, because literally minutes before we came live, we also got some breaking news in regards to the Clinton family. Yes, several prominent US Democrats, including Bill and Hillary Clinton, have now been subpoenaed by the House Republicans to testify, to be forced to testify about Jeffrey Epstein and their connection to Epstein. The subpoenas have been issued by the House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer. And of course, this is going to be quite controversial and a little bit chaotic for especially the Clintons, but the rest of the Democratic establishment. But now, let's talk about the crisis in Texas. All right, first things first. Let's talk about how it started. The redistricting debate is getting quite heated. Now, obviously, around once a decade or so, because of the census that changes and the population changes, the demographic changes in each state, we are going to have the redistricting, or as we say in the United Kingdom, boundary changes to redraw the map of the electoral map and everything else to ensure that it's up to date. Quite common sense. Now, the difference between, for example, the UK and the US is that in the UK, it's done by an undemocratic body. You don't really have any say. In the United States, it's more democratic. So obviously, the lawmakers in Texas are in charge of doing that. Now, obviously, because the Republicans are in charge, the Democrats are not too happy. It's hypocrisy, because obviously when the Democrats control the state, they can do it as well. But this is just showing the complete meltdown by the US Democrats, because now they're going around saying this is a political decision. Well, it's a political process, you idiots. Now, they have fled the state in order to block the vote. They have completely run away. They've escaped, and we know, roughly speaking, where they are in terms of what state, Illinois. But they are doing this in order to prevent the vote from happening, in order to prevent the redistricting to happen. Now, that aside, it kicked off late last night with the Attorney General, Ken Paxton, saying it's time to lock them up. He initially called for the lockup of the Democrats, the top Democrats who fled the state in order to avoid this vote and debate by, obviously, the House. Now, things obviously from here went towards the situation with the governor. Now, Governor Abbott decided to send the Texas Rangers after the Democrats when they fled the state. He said that the Democrats may have violated bribery laws as well. That's the angle, the legal angle that the governor is using and has been using since last night. The authorities are also doing a manhunt in general, but they needed some help. So the Texas authorities have now called on the FBI director, Kash Patel, to help locate and arrest the Democratic state lawmakers of Texas who have fled in order to obstruct this vote, a debate and vote on redistricting and essentially changing the boundaries. Now, in case you don't know where they might be, most of them have decided to go to certain places, which is quite obvious. A majority of them obviously are currently in Illinois, in Chicago, with obviously the governor of the state is backing them, and they're all doing their rallies, and we're going to show you some videos as well from their stupid speeches. Albany, 5 of the Democrats are meeting with the governor in Albany, with the New York governor, and of course Boston. A small group of them have attended the national conference of the state legislators. They are mostly in those 3 areas, and this is all about finding them exactly and apprehending them and basically dragging them back to Texas. It's going to be a lot juicy situation. By the way, it's not the first time something like this has happened. The Democrats tend to run away from debate. We're going to give you guys some examples of the historic examples of when they flee, which is quite regular actually. You think it should be rare. But first, let's go to the Governor Abbott. And he said that the Democrats can't really do anything about the Texas redistricting. It's called democracy, and we're in charge of Texas, and we are gonna do it. Let's go to Abbott.
There's a bunch of crazy bluster. Democrats are freaking out because they are realizing Texas has the authority to redistrict, and we're going to do so in a way that's going to lead to these additional seats that will vote Republican, and they will be serving in Congress in the next session. And so Democrats are freaking out about it, engaging in rhetoric, but I don't think they have the capability of actually living up to it and doing anything about it.
When he's right, he's right. You can't do anything about it. I mean, there have been some examples in the past, for example. So you had the situation about 20 years ago, 22 years ago, in 2003, in Oklahoma, about 51 Democrats, House Democrats, escaped. They fled to Oklahoma. That was also the same situation because the GOP were redistricting. They're doing redistriction. And they managed to delay it, but they couldn't actually stop it. 11 of the Senate Democrats then decided to hide in New Mexico for a month, by the way. And then until one of them returned, and they met their quorum, and they managed to pass it. That was one of the most kind of dramatic ones that we've had. They've had so many examples. For example, in 1979, we had a similar situation. But that aside, before we go back to the history of the trend of behavior, let's go and see what the representatives are saying. Because one of the representatives from Texas, Mark Vesey, who is currently in, of course, Illinois instead of Texas, said that we are not actually running away. We haven't fled. We are fighting back. He's standing right in the middle of Illinois, fled the state, and saying, we haven't fled, we're fighting back.
And, you know, the press, y'all been getting something wrong. I've been seeing a lot of headlines that say that these Texas legislators are fleeing. These Texas legislators ain't fleeing. These Texas legislators are fighting.
Yeah.
They are fighting corruption, they are fighting racism, and they are fighting rigging. And that is what it is all about.
What? They're all there with him. They've all joined him. They're all standing there. Well, hiding basically. But apparently, redistricting is racism. We are going to go to Al Green as well. One of my favorite nutters, Al Green. Before we do that, let's focus on the other representatives because they're all losing their mind. This is James Tallarico speaking from outside of Chicago. He's vowed that Texas Democrats will remain out of state, out of Texas basically, until the special session ends, which is on the 19th of August, by the way. He said, we are using the avalanche of grassroots donations across Texas to fund the food and travel and the lodging, because these politicians are very poor. They need money, obviously. Democrats face $500 daily fines, which they will have to pay themselves, despite earning, well, I think they earn about $600 monthly overall with the expenses and everything else on top of it, right? Governor Abbott has been threatening them, and he said Tallarico said, if the governor is able to remove his political opponents, you know, we are walking down a dangerous road. No. It's not removing the political opponents. It's going to drag them back to Texas. Now, when the boundaries change, when you do redistricting, obviously it changes. Right now, it will be benefiting the GOP in Texas. Just like how many decades ago in California, in Michigan, it also benefited the Democrats. This is the same saga. It's a cycle of doom that keeps happening depending on which party is controlling what state. Now, he's going around saying, the other one said it's racism. And the other one, this one is saying that you're removing political opponents. That's not really the case. Now, going back to Governor Abbott, Greg Abbott said that Trump obviously democratically won all the states that the Republicans are looking to redistrict. It's called democracy. Get used to it. Let's go and see what happened.
For example, I think Donald Trump won in all 5 of these seats that we will be making Republican seats. The same thing should apply in all those other states, Sean, that you mentioned in your monologue, where you pointed out the gross gerrymandering in these blue states have rejected Republican candidates for office that should be serving those states, should be serving our country. It's the gerrymandering in the blue states that has distorted the politics in America.
Yes. Yes. Now, we also have Representative Jasmine Crockett. Oh my God. She just made a speech as well saying, Democrats are the nice guys. I quote. And this governor, as in Abbott, is weak. I mean, he's got the electoral mandate. But if Jasmine wants to think that, then she's free to do that. Let's go to the idiot.
This governor talks a lot of noise. And I made sure that I put up my warrant from 4 years ago to make it plain that they talk a lot of noise, but these guys are weak. That's why they're over here trying to bully people. Bullies are always weak. The difference is they expect Democrats to kind of be the nice guys that we are. They expect us to take the punch and say thank you. Well, I am here to tell you not only are we going to punch back, but we're about to beat you down. We're going to win.
Your friends are in hiding right now. They've all fled. Why are they saying they're fighting back when they're not fighting back? Obviously, if they return, they're going to lose the vote. We know that because the Republicans control. But what? Can we go to my favorite crazy person, Al Green? Al Green has just vowed to introduce new articles of impeachment against President Trump. Don't know why Trump got into this. It's a very state-level issue at this point. Your fight is with Greg Abbott. But Al Green, once again, it's like a monthly ritual, has said that he wants to now make a move to impeach President Trump. Let's quickly go to the video we've just received from the weirdo. See what he said. Oh my God.
This president is going to...
Hang on, it's audio.
Going to be brought down.
Let's fix the audio for you guys. It's very, very quiet, I can tell. Even I could barely hear it. Let's bring it up. There we go. You ready? Might be making it slightly easier for you guys to actually hear that. Because everybody wants to, of course, hear from Representative Al Green, right? Everybody is looking forward to this. Let's go.
This president is going to... He's going to be brought down. He's going to be brought down. He has to be brought down. And I don't mean physically. I'm talking about politically. We will bring him down. He will be impeached again.
I don't know if you noticed what happened. The reason Al Green panicked for like half a second was because he has to be brought down. Then he realized, oh, of course, the conservative side and for even Fox News are now going to use that, just like last year after the assassination attempt. They're going to say, did he just make a physical threat? Did he call for assassination? So like, I don't mean physically. I mean politically. For the record. Oh, Al Green. Anyway, so that's happening. And as I said, we've also just got the confirmation that both Bill and Hillary Clinton have been subpoenaed. They will be forced to testify over their interesting relationship with Jeffrey Epstein and the Epstein files in general. We'll find out more about that shortly. I believe we're just also waiting for the State Department for a press conference shortly. It hasn't started yet, actually. Tammy Bruce, the press secretary, will be starting that. I think that will be... Oh, we've got a while. Yeah, we've got, I think, about 15 more minutes. All right. Let's get some reaction while we wait for the FBI to locate the Democrats. What on earth is going on? Let's go some reaction from the members of 2CTV Plus first, and then we'll get to the live chat. All right. What is this? Something that's made me angry. 26 plus years of ambulance calls. Not once did I ever see a blood transfusion at an instant trauma. Okay. I don't know what that is. Someone else says that they are fighting by running away. So very brave. How are you fighting back? This makes no sense. Also, you are creating a terrible precedent for the future. I'm going to explain why. I'm going to go through the trend of what they've done, Democrats have done historically. And I'm talking about recent history when they always run away from debate. TechLord said the information Trump has been MIA on Truth Social for 14 hours, unheard of for him. I thought he was doing Lent, but maybe a link to your report is more true. Well, also it's also about timing as well. He's probably in meetings right now. It's still early. he starts posting late at night. Oh my God, Democrats running from a vote. What the F? They do know they live in a country with a democratic process, right? The Clintons being called to testify is interesting. Thanks. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting few days. But let's talk about why this is a toxic trend and it's the go-to tactic used by the Democrats. So a few months ago, in January this year, the Democrats walked out over the majority control disputes. This was in Minnesota. And they caused chaos during the session, and then they ended it in a power sharing deal. So basically, there was a similar situation, but for a different reason in Minnesota only a few months ago. We also had in 2011 in Wisconsin, the Democrats once again fled to Illinois for a week. This was to halt the anti-trade union right-to-work reforms. That was Governor Scott Walker. Obviously, the bill passed, and nothing really changed. They run away, but then they tend not to win. In 2011, we also had Democrats in Indiana also fleeing the states and hiding in Illinois, because that's the heartland for the Democrats and their headquarters, basically. They did hide in Illinois for over a month. This was, again, for the right-to-work laws. There have been so many examples of the Democrats creating disruption instead of staying, debating, and voting. Obviously, when the House, any sort of democratic body is not in your control, you will be losing the vote. It's called the electoral mandate. Right now, in the House of Commons in the United Kingdom, the Labour Party has the majority. So they tend to win every single vote. That's just how it works. Imagine if the Conservative MPs and Reform UK MPs and the Lib Dems, every single time there's a debate, they just run away. Obviously, it doesn't work that way. You don't need a quorum for that. But it's completely a waste of time. Because you do need enough people in the US, because that's also the checks and balances. So they think they can use it to stop a debate and a vote. The thing is, you can't, because eventually you're going to have to go back. Unless you're going to completely leave until the next election, which means you're going to be powerless. So this is basically a long-term version of the Democrats not accepting the result of the election. That's it. Every single time. All right, let's get some more reaction from you guys. Let's go to the live chat on YouTube. Someone says, why are they all from Texas? Because they got elected there. And Christopher says, we're getting all those seats. Yeah. Basically, Texas is going to be Republican for the next few decades. It's not going to change anymore. There was a bit of a worry over the last 5 years or so, because cities, urban areas in Texas are becoming a little bit more blue. It's going more kind of young professional, liberalish. So there was a bit of a worry about the future generation, but actually with the redistricting, everything's going to be fine. Don't worry, guys, if you live in Texas. Someone said that when you can't win, run away. Well, the Democrats' solution is that when you can't win, try to imprison your opponents. If that doesn't work, try to assassinate them. If that doesn't work, then flee. All right. They honestly think if they don't do anything and go AWOL, then nothing can be done. The entitlement is off the charts. True. It's insanity. We got a super chat saying, raise your mighty staff again. Al Moses Green. He's entertaining though. It's kind of fun. And the thing is, he's already used all the cards that he had. And by the way, Al Green doesn't actually have any cards. By cards, I mean his mouth. He's already used that. Every month he comes out and says, we have to impeach Trump. Even in this situation, then this situation has nothing to do with Trump. Your fight is with Greg Abbott. But they still want to blame it on the president. Nana says, this is called holding corrupt politicians to account. Well done, America. Well, it depends which aspects of the story this refers to. If it's about, if the Democrats fleeing Texas is holding politicians to account, or if the authorities hunting the Democrats down, yes, it's the latter. That you need to find them, drag them, and you need to live stream it. Kash Patel, if anybody from the FBI is watching this, when you go and find these guys, make sure you have your live cameras on, because we're going to have to see it. It's going to be fun. They're going to come back anyway. Now, Democrats, we are fighting, running away. Everything is backwards with these extremists. Literally, white is black, up is down, Palestine is real. That's the Democrats. That's it. What is this here? GK says the Democrats are not in power, but Trump is costing all Americans with his stupidity and small penis. South Park is goat. Yeah, you do realize just because South Park roasted the president with a small penis doesn't necessarily mean he has a small penis. He might, but it doesn't actually prove anything. Tabitha says, stop being big babies. I think if I were Governor Abbott, I would go on TV right now. Any question that is thrown at him by the interviewer, I would just respond, stop being big babies. Return to your offices, you weirdos. Joe Biden's in Illinois too, doing speeches. The thing is, I'm glad that they at least went to Illinois rather than the Clintons' mansion, because it would have been a very bad look as the Democrats from Texas decided to, for example, go to the Clintons, and then the news just came out that both Bill and Hillary have been subpoenaed. It's going to be a juicy few days and few weeks, guys. We're going to have to keep an eye on this story as well. Also, I did mention earlier in the previous live stream that we decided to create about 10 new spaces for our new media conference, which is this Saturday, the 9th of August in London. I did say, I'm going to do it again, but actually I shouldn't, because basically I said we're going to do like a lottery sort of thing. Send an email with the subject win NMC, and we'll just randomly pick about 10 winners for free tickets. But I've already checked, we've had a couple of thousand people emailing us. So it's going to take a while for us to go through this, but you will get a response by tomorrow-ish. So be on standby Saturday. If you're around, if you're traveling to London as well, make sure to get to Westminster, and I'll let you guys know by tomorrow. Okay, so I'm going to double check to see what on earth is going on with the press briefing at the State Department, because that's a little bit delayed. Why is it delayed? Should have started by now. All right, so apparently it's in 5 minutes. No, but the post briefing, not the actual. We'll wait for that, and then we're going to take a break and come back with more updates. Things are kicking off in Lebanon as the Lebanese government have decided to delay the decision to whether to disarm Hezbollah or not. And the Israeli government have confirmed that they will be occupying Gaza. Subscribe to the channel. I'm Maya Tusi, and we are the media.